This is how quitting social media changed my life. In 2021, I was honestly lost. It's really easy for me to see these links when I look back now, but at the time I was going through a huge transition. I had just finished university, and after spending 4 years there, I had moved back to my hometown. A huge portion of my time was spent on social media, and it just became a norm to do so. Then I wondered, how much would my life change if I quit social media for a whole year? Would I be more productive, happier, focused? How exactly would my life improve? So I deleted social media for a year to find out. As a Gen Z, I witnessed the rise of social media. I made my first Instagram account back in 2013, which followed Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, and oh yeah, not to mention Facebook. But growing up, social media has become a huge part of my life. I witnessed its rapid growth over time, and eventually people from school, university, and at work all had a social media account. In fact, it's considered strange if you don't have one. But why is that? Well, it's quite simple. Humans are inherently social beings. We share mirror neurons that allow us to match each other's emotions unconsciously and immediately. We leak emotions to each other, and social media is a way we can all connect from all over the world. So why did I decide to give it up? Well, it all started when I was scrolling on Instagram and realized that I had been doing it without being aware. I was simply mindlessly scrolling. At first I was a bit confused because I couldn't even remember when I picked up my phone or tell you what the last picture I saw was. But as time slowly went on, I started to realize this habit. First thing from waking up, I'd pick up my phone, check my notifications when I'm having food, walking, and at night before bed. I was consuming without even realizing. In August of 2021, I decided to completely delete all of my social media. Not deactivate, but completely delete. The first couple of weeks were a bit difficult, just adjusting, only because Snapchat was my main form of communication with my friends. But after a month, I got pretty used to it quite quickly. I had quite a busy summer which kept me occupied, visiting places, hanging out with friends. But as soon as things calmed down, I'm not gonna lie, it did make me feel a little bit like I was missing out and a little bit lonely. But it honestly wasn't until months later when I realized the reason behind this, which I will get into later. But deleting Snapchat was probably the hardest for me at first, only because it was my main form of communication with my friends. But also I really like the memories feature. I like looking back at them, like reminiscing of the times we've had and all the moments I've captured. Because I didn't log back into the app for 30 days, it literally deleted every single Snapchat, every single video that I had on my phone, on my account. It hit me quite a bit at first. I was just like, oh god, like that's 4 years of university footage and just everything just gone. But then I realized it's not the end of the world. Like, I'm still close to my friends. I've experienced university to the fullest. There's not much more I can really ask for. And now, genuinely speaking, it doesn't bother me at all. Now, deleting Instagram was probably the best out of all the apps. I just felt like there was a lot going on that app. It just used to be a picture sharing platform, but now it's just a portfolio for your life, which unfortunately some people take a little bit too seriously. Now, TikTok, I was pretty lucky because I barely used it, but I can 100% see how it affects your attention spans. Almost everyone I knew told me how addictive it was. The constant stimulation of short form content undoubtedly is affecting your brain. Okay, let's just wait for this helicopter to pass. I always feel like they're tracking me down or something, even though I haven't done anything wrong, you know? I don't know if that's just like paranoia kicking in. For what reason, I have no idea. Would I get back on social media? This is a big question which I've actually been asking myself throughout the whole year of not being on it. Even my friends, when we meet up, some of them ask me, when are you coming back? And for a long time, to be honest, not until recently, I was thinking, I had the mindset where I would be back on it after a year. But I'm not going to lie, just ever since I've not been on it, like, I have never had the need to go back on it, if that makes sense. It's just what it is. Like, I'd rather not be on it, to be honest. And even 6 months ago, I made the video 6 months without social media. Even on there, I said, will I be back on social media in the future? Hell yes. A lot has changed. It goes to show, like, things change over time. Your mindset might change, your preferences will change. Who knows what will happen in the future, but I can tell you this. If I was to start a business, or if I was to try and gain something from social media, then I would be going back, because it just makes more sense, especially when we're in such a very social media driven world. It's quite difficult to not be on it if you're trying to establish yourself on a platform, for example. But as the current state right now, I'm not going to go on it because I have no intention, no need to go on it. So that's basically where I stand at the moment. But now I'm perfectly fine how it is. Now, I also think that different people have different perspectives when it comes to social media. I am really intrigued to see what the public think. Let's go and find out.
Okay, it's an interesting one. I feel like for me, social media is a sort of thing where you kind of, it's a habit.
Every time that I wake up in the morning, the first thing that I do is always open Instagram and TikTok.
It has absolutely ruined them mentally, physically and spiritually.
I think it's a good thing, but a bad thing at the same time. Obviously, if you're going to spread positivity and you're going to be very good about it, then yeah. But if you're going to be negative, obviously, then it's a big no.
Like, I look at it sometimes out of habit, not because I want to, for example, but because, like, I don't know, it's just habitual scrolling, isn't it?
Social media epitomises the phrase double-edged sword. Social media is what you want to make it to be.
And you know Be Real as well? You've seen Be Real?
I've heard of it. I don't actually know what it is.
So basically it's like every day you get a notification, everyone gets it at the same time, and you post a picture being real of like what you're doing right there and then. So that was the new app that everybody keeps telling me to get, and I was like, okay, that's enough. I've got too many social media apps. I'm not getting Be Real, basically.
I'm not gonna say hours, but a lot of time on TikTok because it's just so addictive, you know? You just open the video and then you're just scrolling and like 2 hours go by after that.
You'd say that you're going to do something productive and then you spend your whole day just scrolling through TikTok, which I know personally has happened to a lot of people, me included.
For example, I open like Instagram and it says, you've already seen every post. Sometimes I'll still just scroll through it. And it's like a habit.
Humans in this day and age are atomized, we're isolated, and that is ultimately accentuated by social media in that, you know, I have like 700 friends on Facebook, but like it can be quite lonely.
I just delayed Instagram because I think it's such a toxic place as well.
Why do you think it's toxic?
Because a lot of times I compare myself to other people. I think people just post the best things that they do online and they don't show the bad things.
Even as a creator, right, so I make videos on YouTube, I spend a lot of time uploading like videos to YouTube, etc. But for me to be active on Instagram as well, like it drains my brain.
I feel like social media has greatly shaped the way that we, especially like our generation, has started to think and stuff like that. And yeah, sometimes I do want to escape social media. Like sometimes I'm just like, whoa.
Social media is already bad enough for attention, but I feel TikTok especially is like that on steroids. And then if I want to see a TikTok, someone will either show me, or if it's really good, it will disseminate onto other platforms.
Do you think it's possible to live in a world, especially for our generation, in our 20s, without social media?
I don't think so, no. It's part of our lives now, so I don't think we can go back, you know, to before social media.
It's kind of hard nowadays to completely get rid of social media because for me, I have family everywhere because I still need to communicate with them. I do want to delete it, but at the same time, it's kind of addictive and also kind of necessary.
Yeah, I get half the likes on my photos now. My self-esteem hasn't recovered.
There's a lot of things I learned since quitting social media for a year. Earlier on I mentioned in the beginning I felt like I was missing out and loneliness starting to creep in. I realized that's because I had nothing to fill the void. You see, time spent on social media accumulated, and deleting it meant that there was a lot more free time. But without utilizing that free time, it would naturally make you feel a bit lonely. It was only until I started spending time on my channel, editing videos, progressing in my career, spending quality time with my friends and family, visiting new places, doing fun things, and just trying to be a bit more productive than I was yesterday is when I truly realized the benefits of deleting social media. Now, can you do all these things and still have social media? Of course you can. End of the day, it comes down to balance. Too much of anything is bad for you. The addictive nature of social media can mean you sometimes lose track, scrolling without realizing. It all comes down to knowing when to take a break and having the self-awareness to prioritize yourself. Ever since deleting social media for the past year, I definitely would say I felt more productive and focused. But happiness is a bit more complex than that. It might be a free app on the App Store, but you'll be surprised how much you really are paying. Thank you guys for watching this video. I'm not telling you guys to completely delete social media or you just automatically become a better person once you've deleted it. That's not the message of this video. What I'm trying to say is, if you need the break, take the break.